Radio check. There.
Hi everyone, it's Chelsea,
And Melissa.
and welcome back to Book Club. Today we are talking about Off Limits by Lucy Cameron. It's a fun, very spicy Formula One romance that we just finished diving into. So we do want to give a quick thank you to Lucy and her team for allowing us to read the art copies and the chance to review it, but we have to get into this because I've never been so rage baited by a book in my life.
I have to agree. All right. Like with every book club episode, we always give a spoiler free book synopsis. So take this as your warning. Leave now if you haven't read the book. And if not, forever hold your peace. All right. So we meet Minnie Roberts. She is Channel 3's newest F1 reporter with a lot of pressure to make a name for herself. Why, you may ask? Because her father was once a world drivers champion as well in the sport. But she refuses to be known as a nipple baby, and honestly, like, I get it. We'll go into that later, but like, honestly, like, go her. And she does not play when it comes to the knowledge of the sport. Like, this girl comes with binders. She has binders. She even says so herself. And she definitely doesn't try heavy on the try, let anyone dim her light. Now, we have Jack Bowden. Jack. Two-time world driver champion and chasing that third win. Now, he meets Mia and he just makes the connection that she is the daughter of his idol and declares her literally off limits.
That doesn't last very long.
It lasts like 2 seconds. And then it goes into like a whole like friends with benefits, like secret. I don't even want to say like secret dating. It was just like a secret situationship.
It was just a situationship.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Yeah,
Definitely
it was,
interesting.
yeah. Definitely interesting. The book is on the spicy side. I will say tread very, very carefully. Yeah. I feel like I have a pretty good tolerance with the spicy stuff, but just some of
It was
the
a lot.
we had a male POV.
I think the male point of view is what threw me off the most because, like,
Same.
he was in
I'm
it,
not-
and I was like, oh.
I'm not used to that. I was just like the details, like, oh, okay, noted.
We'll love to
Yeah,
know how she got into the mind of that. I also just, you know what? Trigger warning. I was rage baited multiple times during this
Yeah.
book. Like, if I wasn't reading this book for the podcast, I would have DNF'd it because I got so rage baited, and it's kind of like when you're watching a show and you want to turn off because of how annoyed you are with the character, but like you also want to finish the show. That was me. Just a warning though, you will be rage baited while reading this book.
got to see it through. But there is like talk of like mental health, grief, dealing with
A lot of trauma in
separation
general.
from your father. It's a lot of trauma. Yes, a lot of trauma, and I feel like they need therapy. Desperately.
All of them. All of them.
All of
Every
them.
character.
I agree. Every character.
Except Georgia.
Yeah, or Georgie.
Georgie.
I like her. Big fan of her.
She's the only one that probably
she
doesn't
reminds me of
need
Angela, but we'll
therapy.
get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
She's the only like sane character. Anyways, now we got to get into it because there's a lot that happens in this book.
Yeah. I mean, let's start with the first thing.
Why is Chris Brown mentioned so many times?
I think what upset me the most about Chris Brown being mentioned is that she literally, in the first instance of mentioning him, says how problematic of a person he is, and then continues to do it multiple times throughout the story.
And says the same thing where it's like, I probably shouldn't. And it's like, then
And like, maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe I'm being sensitive, but I would have DNF'd the book again for this. Like, this is such a dumb thing. I don't know. I really definitely think, like, if you wanted to be funny
all
about this,
the
maybe you could have put
artists.
like Brian. I don't know. He's also annoying, but he's not.
Pitbull.
Could have done Pitbull. Could have done Pitbull.
Like, literally.
Anyways, this
He
is
was right
such a
there.
dumb thing. I just
Right
don't like
there.
Chris Brown, and I think he deserves none of our attention in any shape, way, or form. And yeah, that was probably the dumbest thing about the book. But that was just one thing that rage baited me because the rest of the rage baiting was just a lot of the sexism and like misogyny.
Yes. Yes. And the misogyny from Brian. We're gonna get started with Brian. But in general, all the main characters.
All the
Um,
main men.
yes. Yes, that's what it is. Main men, male characters. Um, I wanted to punch that man so many times. Each time I saw his name, I'm just like, and then like I literally have like I never tab my books. Like never. Chelsea can like attest to this.
She
I
does it.
I really don't. And literally like one of the first things I tabbed is where hold on. Um where I think it's yes, Greg is like the manager of like the broadcast of
Yes.
like for the F1 broadcast and everything. And then you got Brian, which is like a former driver who's just like an asshole. And then you have Krunal.
All I know
I'm
is I
so
put
sorry.
Brian is a colossal deep wad, and that was the best
Yeah.
description I had for him.
Ditto. Okay, so Greg comes up to her. This is in chapter 10, so it's very early on in the book. And Minnie usually comes in like pants, like I imagine like a power suit kind of look, or just like maybe like a nice blouse with like a pair of like dress pants.
Some is slacks. Like I wear slacks to work every day, or when I have to go. I don't wear
Exactly.
skirts to work.
Exactly. Exactly. I same here. I'm just like I work with kids, so like getting on the ground with them and they're no, no, thank you.
I have to go to the
Greg
warehouse all
literally
the time.
tells her to
Imagine a
get rid of
skirt
the
girl.
pants. Right. That man tells her to like switch out of like pants because her male coworkers are in pants. So apparently to keep the balance and have her
The
in a dress or a
diversity.
skirt. Diversity.
Everything was the diversity. I really had to take breaks and put the book down sometimes because I was literally just getting rage baited by one, her accepting this treatment from them and like continuing it.
Right.
But also too that they were so openly doing it. Like I liked one of the crew members, Krunel, I don't really know how to pronounce his name. But and even him, like he was kind of what's the word when you like encourage bad behavior? He was an enabler. Right. So
and she says
wasn't
like she tells him herself too.
You are. Or she says like
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
And I don't understand because Brian was so dismissive, sexist, rude, condescending. Ugh, every scene. It made me hate him more. And I don't know how she lasted as long as she did. And not even like cutting her off because like I know sometimes you can have a conversation with someone and like you automatically ADHD conversation, whatever, you cut each other off, but you know you're gonna keep going. He would cut her off and be like, "You're stupid," like low key,
Right.
like the condescending voice.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Or I guess obviously we don't hear the voice, but whatever, the condescending like language that he would use after he would talk to her. And like there was one scene where she was like, I don't actually think that's gonna happen. And he's just like, you should let the experts talk. How did you think I got here? Because I know what I'm talking about. And like Mel said, she had so many files of just information dumped in her head. It's kind of like I think when you hyper focus on something.
I get it too because I've been there. Yep.
And Greg really didn't stand up for her.
No. Greg was
he
just
tried
like
here and there, but
yeah. Still, the whole diversity.
I don't like how when the falling out happened with like the kissing thing.
Oh yeah.
No, the kissing thing. Like, okay, low key, Brian surprised me because Brian was like, "Bro, we've had orgies since the '80s. Why is everyone getting so upped about a kiss?" And I was like, "This is the one time I agree with you."
This is so tamed and nothing compared to like what I did.
I'm like, this is the one time I'm going to agree with you, Brian. Why are we so pressed about a kiss? Like, isn't there a journalist dating Fernando Alonso right now that just had his baby in real life?
That's what I was just thinking.
So, like, why is this such a dramatic thing in the storyline?
Because it's ethics. It's ethical. It's not ethical to date, I guess, an F1 driver or
But it's
some.
not.
I don't get it.
I mean, I
don't
would get it if like it affected her work. Like obviously, like what they were trying to say, like don't be biased towards. Don't be biased towards like Jack.
Towards Jack.
When you're doing these things, and don't be biased towards his other driver,
teammate
Micah.
Micah. I thought Micah. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never really seen that. But she was never doing that. She was doing such a good job. She was never being like biased towards him. Like, did she defend him once? Yeah, but like also Brian was being kind of stupid. Which what's new when you're reading the book.
But she every time like she spoke, like she was just so knowledgeable of like everything that was going on. So
she had good things to say.
She really
did. With the
yeah.
few amount of times that they'd let her speak.
Right. Especially after she was just like, no, you guys are going to let me talk a bit more. And still, even then.
And she even got proof from social media that, like, the watchers wanted
everyone
to
loved
hear
her.
her more.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what helped out. But
speaking of Micah, his character was also kind of, like, a weird... I didn't hate him, but I didn't like him either.
I don't know how to feel about him either.
He just had a really odd way of treating Minnie.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Like, I honestly think he was at first trying to mess with Jack with like the whole interview thing and blah blah. But then he also like sat down with her and he was like, "Oh, you're kind of cool. Like, I guess I won't be an asshole to you." But he was legitimately doing mental warfare against Jack.
Yes. And then at the end, he was just like, bad. I never did that, dude. The poor guy has like OCD. The man has OCD.
And anxiety, because the second he could not find this one sock, he was having a panic.
It was like
attack.
the end of, And you're like, it's okay, we can get you new socks.
And he's like, that's not good enough, bro. I know they're not the right socks.
Yeah.
And that's the OCD.
Yeah. Because he has like a particular like order of how he puts the stuff like
together.
His ritual and everything. Yes, there you go.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I didn't like what he did with the hot lap with like, if I was in someone's car and they did 8 donuts with me in the car, I would also run out vomiting
and throw up.
Like, right. Okay, maybe it did get her a really great segment and whatever, but also it's like,
at what cost?
Like, what did you do to me?
At what cost? No, it's just like, for me, Micah, like, it felt like it was like he was like written to be like the antagonist, I guess, in a way, of the story, and like the bad guy. But then like all of a sudden, like at the end, it was just like he messes up like a race for Jack. But then like him and Jack like talking, like Micah's like, "What are you talking about? Like I never did." Like, and I'm just like, "What are we doing here?"
Did he also get fired? Like, officially?
I think it was a team principal or the team owner. Some guy named Lorenzo for the team.
That's the owner.
Yeah, he said that, like, he went to talk to Jack after that one race where they crashed out. And he was just like, don't worry, he's going to be fired. Which...
Because he was at the race after that, so I guess it would just be next season. But...
Yeah, that's what I assumed when I read it.
You know what I did laugh, though, talking about Micah? When I was reading it, I kept making the comparison to George and Kimmy and, like, the bet that we have going. Because the only difference is Micah is George, sadly. Which is crazy, because George is the one that's getting engaged. But on the track right now in the storyline.
Yeah. Congratulations to George, by the way. But...
Oh, yeah, true. Congratulations.
The whole dynamic with Micah and then like with his dad as well, with the whole, I wish they dove a little bit more with the whole no press thing, like don't ask these questions, like don't mention this, blah blah blah. Like I wish we dove a bit more into that. It's just always like his dad's like a Kris Jenner, a momager,
right?
And so, or a dadager, I guess,
dadager
in this case. But still, like, I wish we dove into it a bit more. Like this book's like almost 400 pages, just shy, like
it's a good thickness.
Yeah, it's a good thickness. So like, if we had a little bit more of that, like with Micah and like his dad, and like just I don't need a whole deep dive, but like a little bit more
Right.
with that dynamic. I think I would have appreciated it a little bit more. But again, it would give more of
Context.
a, yeah. I don't know. I think yeah.
I don't know. He ended up definitely being a character that by the end of the story, I wasn't sure how to feel about him. I was like, I think you're the antagonist, but I'm also just kind of annoyed with Jack right now. So, so don't worry about it.
We're going to get to that. Now, my second tab in the book on page 72. Now, I'm a millennial, so like a lot of
LOL.
abbreviations and everything. LOL. Not the LOL. I don't, I still use that and everything, obviously, the AIM talk. But literally, why is LOL in this book? Like, I get it. It's like a first person, like, monologue, like, narration. But, like, for me, it just felt like LOL, yes, put that, like, in a text conversation or if it's, like, an email or something like that, right? But, like, I think I would have preferred a little haha. But that's just me.
No, I mean it's valid. I don't know if maybe
Yeah.
my opinion is different because I'm Gen Z, but I know a lot of people don't like abbreviations in published books. It's like
Mm-hmm.
something a lot of people associate with fanfic, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
completely mind it specifically in this kind of genre where it's like new age romance or whatever because
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like it's kind of relaxed and like almost gimmicky to me most of the time. Like if we were reading
Mm-hmm.
Fourth Wing, yes. If they put
Yeah.
LOL in there, I'd be like, I'm never opening this book again.
Or
Um,
like Akator, something where it's like you definitely know
right,
they're not saying that.
because it's not, it doesn't like pertain to like the world building that they're doing. But like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I say LOL to myself, like in my head conversation. Like I'll see something, I'll be like, LOL, out loud. I don't, haha, or whatever. I guess I don't laugh
Mm-hmm.
out loud. I don't actually laugh out loud. So it didn't
Yeah.
bother me too much. But I do know that,
Yeah.
like, specifically text abbreviations, when people try and use it in books, I've seen it so much on Reddit and I've seen it so much on TikTok and Goodreads. People are
Mm-hmm.
like, DNF. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah. It's
you
not
strict
gonna
around
cause me
here.
for DNF, but like for me, it just kind of like it was just like a little like cringe. I was just like, whatever. I moved on. But
I do
still,
now think it might be the millennial Gen Z thing because I do think
I
like
think so.
that to myself. So I
Yeah.
didn't even notice it until you pointed it out, and I was like, "Oh, she was using
Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's all right. It's good old AIM talk. That's all. That's all.
that." Stop
Now,
the AIM.
I I miss AIM. Um, something I do appreciate. So Lucy is from the UK,
Mm-hmm.
and characters both like UK based. I think both of them. Yeah. Um, I love how Jack mentions the Premier League, but I'm an Arsenal fan. Me and my fiance are. Chelsea knows this. We're trying to convert her.
I'm
Um,
trying.
she's trying her best. The season starts soon. We cannot wait. But Jack is a Chelsea fan, which made me giggle just because, like, besides Chelsea, that I love her, but the team, they're okay. I'm not gonna be mean. They're all right.
Maybe it's like me liking the Dolphins, you know?
Yeah, there you go. But it was funny how like Georgie's like his physio essentially.
I think so.
That's how again, she reminded me of Angela, but she was an Arsenal fan and like they even like talk about at one point how I think she actually like worked for like the Arsenal team and like everything. So I thought that was like really cool, but like even like mentioning like them like watching him and like Luca watching a game and it was like both their like Premier League teams and everything. But fun fact, I forgot to note this. A player's name, his last name is actually one of the F1 teams in this book. And every time yeah,
Oh.
Martinelli.
So maybe Lucy's like a really big soccer fan.
Yeah, Martinelli. I'm thinking she's an Arsenal one because she used Martinelli for the team name.
True. That would make
So every
sense.
time I saw his name, because like he's actually like one of my favorite players. I do have his kit. Um, every time I saw him, like a little giggle would come on, I'm like Martinelli, because that's all I saw was him.
You're so
But
funny.
so that gave me a good little kick. I actually did like appreciate that little touch just because like it
Oh, I
just
really like
gave
that, though.
Jack, yeah, it gave him like a more of like a broader picture that he had a life outside of like F1. Like he
No, I
actually like
really
had
like for you to point
interests.
that out.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's a cute little detail. I was just like, "Ooh, fun." Now Minnie, my girl.
She's an interesting character.
She's a very interesting
I
character.
like how like faceted she is. Is that the right
Mhm.
term? Sure. Like so many like she just has so many. I don't know how to explain it. Like
Layers.
I don't even know if layers is the right word, but like I like the way that she acts so differently with everyone, and like
She's a chameleon. She
yes,
just blends in. Yeah.
she's so good at like figuring shit out.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know how she
Yes.
lasted so long at one of the situations that she was in, but I was just like,
Listen,
you are
sometimes
very
like
much go with the flow. It's kind of crazy.
yeah. Listen, I've been in a job where I hated it and I knew I deserved better, but at the time being, I needed to be there. Beyond the point. I need to talk about when she was in Holland. Again, she was going to race, like obviously, and like in between like all the race action and everything, they would sneak around, stay at his hotel, do their thing, whatever. So like they were constantly seeing each other and very frequently. Because again, remember these races are like every week or every 2 weeks. So in Holland, she's like thinking about like her and Jack and like putting like a label on it. And again, I don't know if it's like the Gen Z. I think it's like what is it now? Like Gen Alpha or whatever it is. I don't know. But she was just downplaying like the whole talking about putting a label or putting like something to it and how it would be cringe. And I was just like, I'm sorry, but putting a label on a relationship with a man that you're into and that you have been doing it with is not cringe.
Extremely intimate situations, I feel like, call for extremely serious conversations.
It would be different if it was just like exactly, and like it'd be different if it was just like every once in a while type thing. But this girl was literally with this man like all the time, except when they were like on track.
Mm-hmm.
It is not.
I mean,
sorry.
I definitely feel we should take this moment to talk about Minnie more in depth because
Yes, please.
she was very interesting. And when I read by multifaceted, is just like she's a character that grew up rich but ends up not staying rich. So she ends up having all these different interests that are like from completely two different worlds. And I loved it because she herself really got to see like what the difference was in lifestyle.
And she's so like aware about it too.
And her privilege and like what she had and what she doesn't have anymore. And I feel like she definitely was effed up from the situation happening between her parents' divorce and her, like how her mother basically withheld her from her father. Because if you read it to the end of the book, which you should, there is an ultimatum that the father mentions, and I was like, what is he like, when is that even brought up?
And she's just like, I don't even want to know.
Right, but when you get to the end of the book and they start having more one-on-one conversations, Minnie and her mom, because of everything that happens with Jake, it's basically that the mom was like, either you stay with me and the daughter, or like you have no access to us.
Yeah.
And that's what she did. And it was like super detrimental because since Minnie wasn't aware of the ultimatum, she just thought her dad didn't want her. And she ended up creating this relationship view where, and I obviously think this is where it shows up with like Jake, that she's just like,
Jack.
A relationship is Jack. A relationship is absolutely disgusting because why would you want me? Like my own dad didn't want me.
Yeah. And like so she's scared of like being her, which is like, yeah, it's so valid because like I get her mom, like your husband just like left you for like another woman. You guys like I think it was like she like they had like another kid or like another kid was on the way and everything.
He got the assistant pregnant or secretary pregnant.
That's what it was. So I get it, but like I feel like in turn, instead of it protecting Minnie, it just caused more harm for Minnie. And like well, we'll talk about the mom, so I'll hold off on that for a little bit. But that really, like, when she mentioned that, like, I kind of just, I was pissed for Minnie. I just didn't like that her mom did that. And it's just like, I get it. Again, it's valid, you know. But at the end of the day, like, you do have to think about, like, the child and their best
No, you do.
interests. And, like, if the dad's like, if dad was willing to, like, you know, help out and everything, like, why are you going to
I
take
mean,
that
it's
away?
kind of
But
obvious by the end of the book that he was willing to help out.
yeah,
That
yeah.
actually he would have preferred to.
Yeah, because even
But
when they like go out to coffee, he was just like, "I can help you out with like whatever you need." Like, and it wasn't even like him offering to like make up for the relationship or anything. It was just like one of those like genuine like, "I will do like I will help
yeah,
you out." Like,
I have the
no,
access.
yeah, exactly. So it sucked for Minnie, I think,
Yeah.
because it
I
definitely
think if
like
she
with the
had
whole
had the opportunity to even talk to him a little bit, she would have ended up a lot better.
yeah, exactly. And then of course, like you said, it just created this whole thought process of like her not wanting to be wanted from her dad and not feeling loved and like feeling undervalued. Yeah, it's just
And I
poor
mean,
girl.
like, I get it too for obvious reasons. Like, he did choose
Hmm.
at the end of the day to leave her
Yeah,
mom and go raise these other kids. Like, if he hadn't
yeah,
already
exactly.
had a kid that he
Right.
was supposed to owe this same
Mm-hmm.
exact whatever he felt he owed to these new ones, he was supposed to owe to
Mm-hmm.
her already. So I completely understand why that would fuck you up. I do wish though that we had ended up getting two full conversations instead of just one, because I feel like she didn't really get to like get
Hear it
more
from
out
her
of
dad.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just kind of like a
It
quick,
may have been
really
like
10-minute, 15
one,
minute
yeah.
conversation.
If anything, it may have been something that was like behind closed doors, like behind the scenes type thing. But
You
I think
think?
it
I
would.
feel like
I don't know,
they
but
really pushed it. I mean, maybe like a prelogue or what is it, prologue?
prologue.
Prologue.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But
I don't
I agree.
know. I didn't. He was someone else that I didn't hate. I didn't like
Yeah.
them, but I didn't hate them because I was like, well, you just
I
got stuck in a
didn't.
really bad situation.
Yeah. I didn't care
You
for
put
him. I
yourself in
mean,
it, but
yeah, I was gonna say he is crappy for what he did, but
and look, like okay, the mom, she definitely her best, but like she was okay, a little loca, a little crazy.
mm, mm,
She ended up turning into this farmer girl with 6 dogs, and she's a breeder, which I'm not a fan of, but we're not even going to talk
yeah,
about that. And now she's like a rural girl, and to be honest, the relationship between her and Minnie is giving like Lorelai Rory vibes, and in a good and bad way, just like I think about in the show. She's
hmm,
supportive. She loves Minnie so much, but she's also slightly judgmental and hard to talk to because she knows what's right for Minnie, and anything Minnie does that she doesn't
it's
think is
wrong.
right for Minnie is wrong. So
Hmm.
like, oh,
Hmm.
and her mom hated Formula One drivers. So like that was already off to a bad start with hooking up with this
Yeah,
guy.
which is like again valid, but
Right,
at
because
the
she got
same
fucked by
time
one.
she
But like
exactly, but like at the same time she was just like projecting the whole time. And
so much.
what really pissed me off about her mom was I think it was in the Miami race when she shows up there like dressed to the nines as if like she never left the paddock and it was just like a whole different person like on the paddock. And it's just like, so do you want, and like I mean later on she says like she didn't like it or anything, but it's just like, why even go through that? Like you can go to the paddock and just be like a regular with
I
access. But at the
do
same time,
think she used it as kind of like a what's that called? Like a defense mechanism.
yeah,
Like no
I
one's
can
gonna
see that.
judge you if you look exactly the same and hot.
That's true. Yeah, and that's how she got into like Auckland. I
Yeah,
think that's what, yeah.
Ackland.
So I mean it makes sense, but I was just like kind of annoyed because I was like, you're over here like shitting on your daughter for getting a job within F1. Mind you, it's within broadcasting and
Right.
everything, and but you showed up like that to
Yeah.
here so you can get
I mean,
away.
her mom's
It's
definitely
just
hypocritical,
mm-hmm.
but I think it's because she's kind of like the mom that's like, I know best, or
Yeah.
do as I say, not as I do.
It's my yeah, yes. Yes, like learn from like my lessons, learn from me type thing. But hey, I mean, again, I get it. I feel for her because like at one point like she's like, did I not give you like enough like in life like when it was just like the two of us and it's just like, well damn, you know, but
But I
It's a
feel like that's
double-edged
also very
sword.
guilt trippy. If your
Yes,
like child is
exactly.
coming to you to share their emotions about how they're feeling because their father left them, why are you gonna be like, but I did good? Fuck you. We're
Right.
not talking about
Did
you. I'm
I
talking about my
right, did I
dad.
not do? Yeah, exactly.
Like that was the only thing that
That's
really bothered me. She had a very hard time. The mom had a very hard time separating what the dad did to her from what the dad did to the daughter.
mhm.
Because technically, the dad
Mhm.
didn't have to do the daughter as dirty as he did. The mom is the one that made it happen like that.
Exactly. Exactly. And then like when Minnie eventually like came and like let everything out, she was just like, "But
Right.
you lied to me." And it's like, yeah, she lied to her, but like
Do you want to know why I
sh-
lied to you? Like,
right, exactly. And like mom wasn't getting that and I'm like,
again, very rage baity book.
"Mhm. Definitely. Yeah, definitely." It's just but in chapter 40 when Minnie is in Baku, I one thing I do want to like I did like to like a little small details like whenever they were in different like races or like if she was like
Oh
back
yeah.
home, it like the location was given. So I was just like, oh, I appreciate that little like. I'm a big fan of like stuff like that.
Yes.
Um,
The
and
details that make
so
the reader comfortable, really.
yeah, and it gives me like more of a visual of like where they are and like what's going on, especially like as an F1 fan. Like I think Baku, I'm
Right.
like, okay, I know they're in Azerbaijan, like all that's going on. I love the castle. Love the track. I yeah. But so she meets Celine Fournier.
Fournier?
Butchered that completely, but she's an former French racer, and she's the country's France first female F1 broadcaster. So like she is like what Danica Patrick wishes she was. Um, Jensen, I'm so happy for you. But I love like how Celine tells Minnie that like she's worth more than what she's praying herself to be on Channel 3. She was just like, no, like these people like work for me. I don't work for them. Like, you know, I make sure like if you were like I make sure my people are like doing good, blah blah blah. And she was just like, don't let these like men like talk you down. Like you know your stuff. Like you're actually pretty good. And she like gives her that reality check, and it's just like loved it. It's just very like woman female empowerment. And then later on she does like eventually like after she Minnie quits her job with Channel 3, she does like offer her a spot with like the French broadcast. I think it's like Sport If Plus or something like that. uh, but I was a really big fan of Celine because she was just like, don't take shit from these men.
I think something that Celine said that I really liked, and I didn't write it down, so like I'm not quoting it directly, but it was
Mm-hmm.
when like Minnie was kind of realizing like that she should quit this shit already. And
Yeah.
Celine's like, because oh, she was so grateful that she had a job with Channel
Yes, and she
3.
was like so English.
Yes, and Minnie,
I
and
I
she's
had it
basically
to have
telling
that
Minnie
slide.
like, yes, because it's so true, and I think it's something that even we kind of have to think about, like when you're reading the book,
Mm-hmm.
like think about it with your own job. Are you grateful that
Mm-hmm.
you have a job, or are they grateful that they have you?
And it should always be that they're
And
grateful to have you.
definitely Channel 3 was just using her. Because literally after
Mm-hmm.
she left, they got a copycat of her that was willing to wear the skirt and be 70% more bimbo. There's always going to be someone out there that's going to do the job.
Always. Always. So you might as well just go for the better paying and better opportunities job. Always.
Sadly. I'm not going to yuck someone's yum, but
Listen.
definitely sucks that,
But I did
that happened.
yeah, but I did like her a lot. Like I feel like that was a good someone
Picker
to
upper?
have like yeah. Yeah, cuz it's just like even like she was just like also like you and Jack like
That was funny as hell.
and then she was like what are you talking about? And he was like
She
no, like how
clocked
he
them.
she clocked these shit cuz she was like no man looks at a woman like that even during interview.
I mean, I'm glad she did it in like a way that was really funny, and I wasn't
Yeah.
worried about another evil villain coming.
Right.
It's like,
She even
no.
hold on, let me see cuz she mentions something about okay yeah because like Minnie's like I would never compromise like my and then like ethics of journalism and then she was this Celine's like what ethics like
She's
like
right. Like, this is your
but she's
job,
right
not your life.
and that's literally what she said. She was like we need to be reminded that sometimes of that sometimes she was just like so And then she was like, "We'll talk more over a bottle of like red." So like she was like,
very knowledgeable.
"Yeah, yeah." And then like again, like we see it nowadays too. Alonso, like his partner,
And look how happy they are.
Right.
I never thought I'd see that man settle down.
Exactly. There's that one girl. She dates like an IndyCar racer. I forgot what her name is. She was like an influencer too. She did like a lot of F1 stuff.
Oh, I think they broke up, but I know who you're talking about.
Her face is coming to my but yeah, that's like another one, you know. But like,
yeah,
if they broke up, I mean, I'm very sorry, but you know, it's possible.
It's completely possible, and I don't think there's anything ethically wrong about it, as long as when you're broadcasting, you're not biased. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like she's working for the team as like the social admin or something like that. I can understand a bit more, and we've read books like that, you know. But anyways.
And they got away with it too.
Thank you. Exactly. But anytime I see Sao Paulo in any of the books, I just love it because I love Sao Paulo. But I'm gonna leave it at that. That's all. I miss Brazil.
It's okay. I like that every time they bring up Miami.
Yeah, I literally was like thinking of you when I wrote that, because I was just like, this is probably Chelsea with like Miami or Coda. But you know, it's fun. I like when they go I mean, of course, like they do Silverstone, Monaco, Coda.
Right.
They did Vegas. She covered Vegas. She covered Baku, Singapore. So like she definitely did like a good amount of different.
And the Singapore race was good in the book.
Yeah, exactly. And then so I don't know. I really liked it how she like.
I'm here acting like I watched it. Like the Singapore race was so good.
So good. It's coming up. But I like how
she does write like, Formula One really well.
That's what I was gonna get to. So like I really liked when we were in Jack's like POV on race days, or like whether it's like practice quali, but like specifically like when he's in that car and like he talks about like, okay, like it's about to turn green, and like Micah like rear-ended me, or he like clipped my like how she described that, like all that action from like his point of view, like I really appreciated it, because I was just like, it's not doing too much where like non F1 fans will be confused, but it's doing enough to like satisfy F1 fans. And again, it's not like overtaking the whole plot of the story.
Right. No, I completely agree with you. It wasn't gimmicky. It's very easy to read. And it also felt very believable. Like there was nothing that was like exaggerating. There was no like tracks that she tried doing something funny at. She like acknowledged that Baku was hard to race at. So I don't know. I really enjoyed.
Like, stupid hot, yeah.
Am I gonna say that Jack's point of view didn't throw me off sometimes? It did. That's a very horny man, but I really loved reading the Formula One. Like it was so good, and I loved seeing his mindset. I loved hearing how he would like get ready for the races. But just a very horny man.
Very. I don't know how to feel about him. It's been 24 hours since I finished that book, and I still don't know how to feel about him.
He just rage baited me a lot.
I get it.
So something you said earlier, which is like the way that Minnie would kind of like rationalize everything that was happening with Jack, and like how she was really cringe, or like she thought it was cringe, blah blah. It kind of felt like I was listening into a conversation between sophomores in college who are in a situationship, not full grown adults. No, but really I just
developed.
Sometimes that's what it felt like when I was reading.
Yeah.
But I didn't like how he treated her sometimes.
No.
And like I definitely
he was an asshole to her sometimes.
He was. I didn't like how much he minimized her reactions or her concerns about what they were doing. Like he was just freeballing that shit. And I was like, hey, my man, you will be fine. Like he would ignore his privilege almost. Like you will be fine. She will not. She has no privilege in this world anymore. At all. You have 100% of the privilege. And he just would completely ignore that. And he even tried saying some shit to her about like she's a classist, or like she doesn't know about classist situations. And she's like, are you really talking to me about this?
Right, because he also like he grew up poor.
Right.
And so like they grew up like opposites, but then like where they meet, they're
switched.
in each other's shoes. Just exactly. So it's just like, boy.
But it was almost like she was able to keep both point of views, and he started losing one.
Yes. Yes.
Like he was not seeing the rich point of view. Like it was like you
Mm-hmm.
have $1 billion car collection and you're yelling at her about classism.
Right.
The poor girl that like lives on a farm with her mom and 6 dogs.
6 dogs. And who knows how many puppies.
A lot of puppies, fucking apparently.
A lot.
But like I don't know. He was a lot.
He was he was definitely a lot, and like I really like that Georgie like clocked him a few times
A lot.
too, especially when the whole like the photo came out and everything, and she was just like, she doesn't like have no one, right? Like you have the means to clean this up because you're on this team, but like she literally does not have anything, and she has everything to lose. And he's just like, he still wasn't getting it.
No, because he had this weird idea that the team was gonna care about her. Why? Why would they care about her?
Right, exactly.
He's like, oh, but the team will take care of it. And Georgie's like, are you fucking like, are you an idiot?
No, they'll take care of you, but not her. And then like
Privilege.
him getting like so upset at her for even like quitting, like just like instead of being like, you know what, Minnie, like hell yeah, and then like let me see what I can do to like help you find like something better. Maybe I can get you on my team.
Right. Not even a thought.
He's just
He's very reactive and not very solution based.
yeah, and like every time like Minnie would hit at like feeling something for him, like he was just like, but we're just friends, like it's just friends with benefits, like
Oh my
that's
god, I want to
all. And
punch
it's just
him.
like
This is the
he's just
exhaustion we get reading these characters.
it's just it just
I get that he had trauma that he needed to recover from.
yes,
And I also get her taking him back because he's a rich, hot Formula One driver that she fell in love with. How can you say
exactly,
no to that? But
exactly,
if it was me, I think I would have gone off a little bit more on him. On
100%,
respect.
100%. I just he was just so interesting. Like he was just
Because
I'm
sometimes
just
he did
glad
cute
like
shit. I'll give him that.
yeah, exactly. It is
You know,
like
he
at
took
those
care
moments.
of her. He was feeding
Yeah,
her. He was like
exactly.
there when she had her little breakdowns.
But of course, like that stuff doesn't give situationship. That gives like boyfriend, girlfriend.
That was like trauma bonding.
Right. And then but it's
Are they
just
trauma bonded?
no, no.
Slightly.
Slightly to like a degree, but
Like a
not really.
5%.
But yeah. But I don't like I'm glad like he wasn't like such a like a flat character where he didn't have like this much depth. At the same
They
time,
both
I'm
had
like
a lot of layers, yes.
a lot of layers. Like this was like a big onion.
He also
They were
had the
both very
Luca
big
situation. I don't even think we talked
yes,
about
like
Luca.
yes, his friend, right?
His best friend.
That
Like
his best
almost
friend,
brother.
yeah. The way I looked at it was just like kind of like a Pierre and his one friend that passed at not Monza.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Hubert, something like that. I think it starts with an H. Type ASMR. It was at Spa.
Antoine
He does
Hubert.
Antoine Hubert.
Or Antoine
So yeah,
Hubert.
yeah, Antoine. I say Antoine. It looks like Antoine, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
There that friendship reminded
Same
me a
vibe.
lot of like yeah, exactly. So like he was like going through that, and then like they mentioned like his grandpa at one point too, because like his grandfather, like he would talk to him like once a week and all this stuff. But then like he had a brother too with like that was also like disabled. So like homeboy was like dealing with like
Going through
a lot, and like he was just holding every
and he had a really bad relationship with his parents.
yes, I forgot about that.
Maybe not really bad, but just not really good.
They just weren't close, or like
They
supportive.
like didn't, because since the brother had those, I don't know if it was behavioral issues or if it was.
I think it was like CP.
Yeah, so
cerebral
because
palsy,
his brother
something like
had
that, yeah.
these with these really big issues, really. Like, it would take the family, it would take a lot out of parents. They would, like,
Mm-hmm.
basically just ignore him. They were like,
Yeah.
we're too worried about your brother. Sorry.
Which is valid. But
To an
again,
extent.
exactly. But then it's just like, okay, yes, help out brother. Yes, I get it. You know, a lot of the focus, but don't like neglect your other
They
children.
definitely neglected him.
Yeah.
So again, like, this guy is really messed up. So I kind of see why he has all of these reactions that he has. And he does get
Mm-hmm.
better by the end.
He does.
I'll give him that.
That
But
third act breakup did kind of like annoy me.
I think it was needed for her though. Like, Minnie needed that shit.
I think
I
she
think
did,
being
but I
around
just
him clouded her judgment.
oh yeah, and I think she homegirl like forgave him a little bit too quick, or like that was just a quick little monologue, like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm sorry. I love you."
It
Like,
was so
girl,
annoying. I mean, she
did
did
you even bring her
tell him no the first time.
flowers? Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because he really tried the first time and she was like, actually, you need to go.
Yeah, like you're just trying to keep the same thing going. Like I'm trying to make this into something more, and sometimes
I
that's
don't
what
know.
it takes.
It was definitely giving just really struggling situationship. I wouldn't even call it friends with benefits. Like, at any point,
No,
that was just a straight up situationship the whole
it
time.
was definitely yep. They were, yeah.
And the
Because
sex,
they even went on
a lot of
holiday together.
sex.
A lot.
Like, how are you gonna have all this sex and be very descriptive about it, and like not think that you're growing a relationship?
No, exactly. And then the fact that they like he took her on his holiday. He
And we're not
took
talking
her.
about like sex and leave. We're talking about like sex and stay and cuddle and
This is
that
like
was
sex,
so
sex.
good. Blah blah blah. Like, what's that called? Like,
It was
aftercare
like
and all this bullshit.
right. It was like intense. So it's just like
And they were like spending the weekends together. That man was annoying me.
They
And
were
he was a
together
grown
all
man.
the time. A grown man.
It's a little too
I
realistic, actually, Lucy.
We're re-traumatized right now.
Like, actually.
But I mean, again, he does like change for the better. Like he does
They
come
both
off like
do.
sort of like they both do. He comes off as like a dick at the beginning and everything, like kind of rude, but then like, you know, he does soften up. It's just sometimes I just want to like shake him and slap him and be like, get your shit together.
Yeah,
So
I agree. They
yeah.
definitely both got their shit together. I think they both rage baited me. There was really
Yeah.
Did the guy do it more? Yes. Yes. I forgave Minnie a little bit more. But that's because I'm a girl.
Exactly. We
And she
support
can
women's
do no
wrongs
wrong.
and rights.
Exactly.
Now, when I finished the book yesterday, I initially rated like a 4.25. I'm not going to change my ratings like on Goodreads or Fable
Yeah.
because I am a lazy person to do that. But after like digesting it, taking some time to like think about it, and actually like talking about it, I would say it's more of like a solid 4. It was a good book. It helped me. I was like, you know, engaged in the story. I actually like didn't want to put it down like at some point. So like, that's
Right.
how good it was. It was really good. It's just like
It rage baited you too much, didn't it?
it just rage baited me too much.
Bro, it's the same thing for me. Like, this is a solid 4. Because at the end of the day, it's really good writing. I feel like
Mhm.
I was rage baited at appropriate times because that's what she wanted us to feel. So it's like, again, when you're watching a movie and the villain is so good that now you hate the actor, I was getting raged so well that I wanted to hate the book. So she definitely did her
It
job.
happens.
Yeah. And I honestly really appreciated, like me and Mel were talking about earlier, it's so clear to read. Like, you always know whose point of view you on. You always know where you're located. You always know, like, kind of where, like, everything is so well flowed. I don't know if that's the right
Yeah.
word. But
Yeah.
I really appreciated the speed of the book. And I never felt like it got too slow, which
No.
I've said that about other books. Like, this one was
Yeah.
always at pace. And I was like, damn, this is good.
And it didn't feel rushed. It just felt like it just like, okay, just kept the
Right.
ball rolling.
Again,
Yeah.
though, you're getting rage baited the whole time, so you do just want to finish it. And I finished it
know.
in 2 days.
Yeah. And that helps too. It helps
Yeah,
too.
it does.
Read it if you want to. Again, just tread lightly. That's just my advice. That's all.
Read it with some tea
Um,
to relax.
for real. Now, the spiciness, I will say like 4.5 chilies. Um, again, I have probably like between like me, Chelsea, and Meg the highest tolerance for
Yes.
spice. I'm very interested to see how Meg reacts to future books. I cannot wait to have her on future episodes. But it's just when it was like his point of view, like that
It was a
one,
lot.
like one or two chapters, like there were some points where like I had to put my like book down and I was just like, I'm gonna come back to this. It was just it got to be a little too much because like Lucy girl, I need to know how she like got herself in that mindset because Mans was like you said, Chelsea, he was in there.
This is
Descriptive
a
as
pornographic sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
Like this is the smut that people talk about reading on TikTok.
Yes. This is literally what Chris like thinks I read. And it is, unfortunately.
Look, for me, I gave it 5 out of 5. Like this is the first time in a while that I've had to literally skip sections because I'm like, oh my god. I was like clutching my pearls. There was specifically oh my god, there was literally one whole chapter that was just sex, you guys. It was like chapter 22
Yeah,
or something.
it was
whole
the one of
chapter,
his
it
like
was,
point of
6
view.
pages of
Yes.
sex. And I was
He
like,
said
oh
chapter
my
22.
god. I think so. It's something like that. I have it marked in my wait. What's in my notes?
Yes. Chapter
Is
22
it?
because it literally says Jack and it says this is a one-time thing. She rests.
Dude.
I'm not
I
gonna
was like,
continue
oh.
because I'm about to like start like
Oh, chapter 6. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is anyways, this is very spicy.
It is
Y'all,
42. It is 9 pages.
of just straight sex. Smut. Maybe some dribble of conversation towards the end.
Some cuddle at the end. There's like a good like at least 2 chapters of like his point of view where I was just like I'm like again I've read some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, like,
but I wasn't expecting it. And it
I
has
just
such
never-
a beautiful innocent cover.
yeah, and it's just like yes. And like this was like on the level of like faster word to Amy,
Bro,
Amy
high-key.
Andy.
It was bad. Like we even talked about like, okay, don't judge me for saying this, but like there was even anal mentioned in there, and I was like, wow, we're really going in here.
Right,
I was
right,
like, okay.
right. It's just like it's so rare when we get books that mention
That much
stuff to a
description,
certain-
really.
Yeah, exactly. Because we even had like one of the past ones where it's like BDSM, but I was just like, it's not really BDSM, but like
It
mean,
wasn't.
again-
We talked about it. It was like
Yeah, and
it was like a conversational BDSM.
yeah, it's just like more like a dom sub. But again, there's like levels to this, and I just felt like my flabbers were definitely gassed at some point.
But I still enjoyed it, and I would give it a solid
No.
4. I don't think this is a beach read. I think this is something you read at night before bed, so you can like kind of get rage baited into finishing it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely I will say if you're like
This
in
home book.
like a and if you're like in a reading rut, definitely I think this would be something.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
so right. I didn't want to put it
Yeah,
down.
'cause
Again, I was
yeah,
rage
'cause
baited into finishing it. Like I needed to see how
Right.
it ended.
literally. So yeah, because I like flew through this book and I haven't flown through a book in a very long time. Yeah, so that is all for today's book club. Thank you again, Lucy, so much. Thank you, and her team for the copies of Off Limits. Be sure to check your local bookstore and get your copy today. Read it, love it. Let us know what you think. We would love to know your thoughts. But there is a second book, Hard Pass, and we will be reviewing it later on in the season. So definitely keep an eye out for it. I am very interested. I cannot talk anymore. To see who that one is about, because like usually in other books, like we usually get like a little clue of like who it's gonna follow and everything. So I'm very excited to dive into that because again, Lucy, you're writing. Period. We'll be back next week for another book review, this time overtaken by Elizabeth Oliver and IndyCar Romance. So we are taking a quick little turn from the F1 action, but we cannot wait to deep dive into this one. Be sure to follow us at Radio Check You There on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Threads. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.